Hey friends, it's me, Christiana Gaudet. I am live on my Facebook business page, which is also called Christiana Gaudet. You might be watching me in archive on Facebook, on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is, guess what, also called Christiana Gaudet, or on my website. If you're watching an archive, thank you so much for being here. If you hear something that resonates for you, of course, take it to your heart as a reading for you. I will be doing live readings for the people who are here with me live, and I welcome you all coming into the room right now. So it's Thursday, and that means that it is time for our Tarot Topics weekly newsletter recap. Do you get the Tarot Topics weekly newsletter in your inbox every Wednesday? Or do you read it right here on social media? It is available right here on my Facebook business page. So if you haven't had a chance to read it, you can. But every Thursday, we gather together to discuss the topic and do readings about whatever the topic might be. So this week, the topic is Healing is a Lifelong Journey. What we talk about in the newsletter is that we are always healing of body, mind, spirit, whatever it is. And humans are so resilient. We are built to heal. Life is filled with pain and trauma, as well as with joy and beauty. And yet we are built to heal. And, one of the things that I have long believed is that tarot is a great tool for healing, for helping us heal, for helping us figure out what we need to do to heal, for helping us figure out what we need to heal from. So today, I would like to do readings on that. If you have a question about your own healing process of body, mind, or spirit, if you are wondering how to heal, if you are wondering what you need to heal from, anything at all, go ahead and phrase a question that somehow has to do with the healing process. How can you help someone else heal? How can you grow yourself as a healer? Any of those things, I am here to answer those questions. So let me say hi to a few people before we get going. Lisa, Laura, Julia, Becky, Uma, so nice to see you. Ermit, nice to see you. Karen, glad you're here. Becky says, this is my topic. Yes, it is, my friend, isn't it? Karen Maynard says, awesome newsletter. Everyone should get it and read it. Thank you so much for those kind words. Melissa is the first one here with a question about healing, so she will be the first reading. And Fatima said, I really loved this newsletter. I am so glad. Ajasta, glad you're here. So again, questions must be about the healing process in some way. And Melissa's is the first. Nice to see Melissa here. Melissa is almost my birthday twin. She's my birthday adjacent twin, one day after mine. Okay, what do I most need to heal, and what is the most important thing I can do to propel this healing? Fabulous question. I love that. I love that. Okay. What comes up here, and you can tell me how this resonates, but I feel like what you need to heal is this idea that you are somehow not winning at the game of life, that you are somehow not a winner, or that you are somehow not deserving of great success or of the success that you want. And the way to heal that is just wherever that came from, when it comes into your mind, or when the vestiges or consequences of that come into your mind, just send them away, please. Send them away. Okay, Lisa Mazzone, what do I need to heal from? I think that there's a certain defensiveness here. I think you have had, whether it was an immediate quick thing or some ongoing thing, I think you have had some pretty hurtful things in your life, and you have just moved on. You are strong, you are capable, you keep moving on, but you didn't really heal from that, and it caused you to be a little bit defensive. So that's what I think you might need to work on. Okay. Uma Elizabeth, what is my role in the healing of our country? Yeah, good question. Without being argumentative and without being rude, to refuse to participate in conversations and activities that you do not feel are appropriate. And on top of that, obviously to raise good men because you've got sons, and to pray for it, and to be present, recognizing that, we've been split into these two sides where we sort of are looking at each other side-eyed, believing that the other side is evil. And I would agree that there are some people who are motivated by the wrong things. But it's probably in most cases not being evil, it's being misinformed. It's having a narrative that people feel like they need to cling to because of their identity. It is being afraid. It's all of those things. So maybe we don't look at each other as evil. Maybe we look at each other as misinformed. Maybe we look at each other as afraid. And maybe we work to gently educate each other. And the problem is, too, over time, there's been this narrative that if you change your mind on something, you're like a flip-flopper or you're hypocritical. We have to be willing to evolve. And we have to help people become willing to evolve. Stuff like that. Just that. Okay. Claire, nice to see you. Claire Wetzler. How do I heal from the bitterness and horrible plays from my husband's ex-wife? I'm trying to let it not affect me, but it's not easy. I understand. Because what she does hurts not only you, but also people that you love. And I think we just have to remember that she too is probably not evil. She probably has real mental health issues. And so we just have to recognize that this is coming from a place of illness, from a place of unwellness. And from a very Christian perspective, Jesus said, pray for your enemies. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean to pray for your enemies? Maybe it means to recognize that the person who has made themselves my enemy probably didn't do it because they're an a-hole. Probably did it because they have a mental health issue. And so to try to take it from that perspective may be helpful. Okay. Ermit, what do I need to let go of? I think you tell yourself some particular stories about your own past. Something that should have worked out that didn't, and it was meant to work out, but then it got screwed up. Maybe everything that has happened has brought you to where you are exactly the way it was supposed to be. So I would say, look at the stories that you're telling yourself. Okay, and today we are doing readings specifically about healing. So phrase your question in a way that is about your own healing or helping to facilitate the healing of someone else. That's what we're doing here today. Okay, and Becky has a question about physical healing. I am so sorry to hear this. Becky has sprained her shoulder and is wondering how long it's going to take to heal. And the answer is 5 weeks to 2 months. I think within 5 weeks, you'll be a lot better. And within 2 months, you'll be all the way better. Fatima, I'd like to know how I can become a better healer for myself, for other people, and for other things like living things, the earth, society, etc. And it says a lot about our gathered group here, that people are asking questions about how do we heal the larger picture, and that's a beautiful thing. I think asking that question is the very first step toward that, isn't it? So how can you be a better healer in general, Fatima? By loving yourself, by healing yourself, by integrating the different parts of yourself together and knowing that that is the perfect union, that the perfect union exists within you. I mean that in a lot of different ways. You know that. Okay, Laura, what do I need to heal from right now? A couple of things. You still carry around some belief structures that don't serve you. So thinking about that and letting that go. Thank you, Karen Maynard. I appreciate it. It's a fun topic, right? Okay. Laura, letting go of belief structures, recognizing your own psychic abilities, some of your wounding, some of what has hurt you. You know, they say there's like a thin line. Well, I say there's a thin line between psychic and psychotic. I think you have had a lot of psychic experiences that made you think you were crazy. I promise you, you're not crazy. The more you embrace your psychic self, the more healed you will be. Okay, Karen Maynard, should I continue to offer healing services now or wait a little bit until my own healing journey has moved further along? I'm going to do this reading, but I have to say that's a question a lot of us ask. Those of us who work as healers one way or the other, you know, we're very aware that we ourselves still have issues, right? But the thing that I say to all of us, myself included, is that if we waited until we had perfectly healed before we helped to heal others, there would be no healers in the world. So that's my blanket statement to all of us. Let me address Karen Maynard's question specifically. Is now a good time for Karen to be offering healing sessions for others? And I'm going to say readings, yes. Healing's not right now. I think you're absolutely right that taking all of your healing energy and turning it toward yourself right now is not at all selfish. It is appropriate. And it's the airplane philosophy. What's the airplane philosophy? That when you're on an airplane, remember those things? We used to fly in them a lot. When you're on an airplane and they do the safety thing and they say when the oxygen mask drops, you put it on yourself first before you assist another person. That's a lesson for life, right? That it is not selfish to take care of ourselves. We cannot really help others and take care of others until we take care of ourselves. Okay. Priyanka, what do I need to heal from and how? And for anyone who's playing along at home, that's a fun 2-card tarot spread, right? What do I need to heal from and how? 2 cards. Okay. I feel like you are really healing from a broken heart right now. I don't know what broke your heart, but I feel like you are healing from a broken heart. And the way to do it is to recognize the truth of the situation. You are believing something about that situation that is not true. Recognize what is really true and you will feel better. And let me just take a minute to say hi to a few people. Cheryl Jefferson just came in the room. I've got a lot. Julia Bonesteel, nice to see you. Barrett, nice to see you. And I'm going to keep going and get to as many questions as I can. And I do really appreciate your feedback. I don't always read it aloud, but I do read it and I appreciate it. Okay. And yeah, Melissa, 7 of Swords energy about yourself. Yes, 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 100%. Okay. Okay, Ajasta, I would like to know if I will find my way to heal. And the answer is yes, and it's going to be a combination of like scientific and spiritual, not one or the other, but both. I can tell you that. Pamela, where do I need to further focus my attention for healing to move forward? What a great question. Okay, that person, everyone, just report that person, please. It's a troll. Okay. Where do I need to further focus my attention for healing to move forward? Pamela, I think a lot of it is about letting go of fear and anger. Not that I think you are a terribly fearful and angry person. I do not. Don't read that wrong. But we all have a certain amount of it. And you have a lot of creativity and a lot of courage. And that's all fire energy. But what's the flip side of the fire energy? Fear and anger. And so work with your fire energy. Ashriel, nice to see you. Great question. My hands vibrate whenever I meditate. Can you please let me know if this has got anything to do with healing? Okay, I'm going to give you my personal answer and then I'm going to pull a card on it. Personal answer. 100%. Yes, 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 yes. You are a natural healer. So there are chakras in the palms of the hands. We talk about the 7 major chakras. We don't tend to talk about the other chakras, of which there are many. Palms of hands. That's why when we meditate, we put our hands up and we put our feet up in lotus position so that the energy can come out of the chakras on the hands and the feet. That's why before you go to your cards, you want to rub your hands together to open the palm chakras. So your palm chakras are opening naturally when you meditate. So make sure you turn your hands up so you can release that energy, but also recognize you could probably do some healing touch or Reiki or things of that nature. That's what I say. Let's see what the cards say. I'm very excited about that. Can't you tell? Okay. What do the cards say about that? The cards say first turn that energy towards yourself to your own healing, and then think about how you can help heal others. Okay. Bigot Windmill, nice to see you. Shall I stick to what I'm doing, or does it make sense to offer more healing? Now, I know that you are like in person working with the flower essences and things of that nature, which I think is very good. Should you offer more healing? Not necessarily. I think recognize the healing nature of the astrology, the card reading, what it is you are offering, especially in conjunction with those flower essences, that there is so much healing there already. Shauna Stack. Okay, I would love a card for how to move past and heal from failed relationships. Man, everyone needs that, I think. But for you specifically, Shauna. First of all, recognize that none of them were like meant to work. You know, sometimes we hold on to old things thinking they should have worked and something went wrong. Let go of that story, number 1. Number 2, remember the best is yet to be. Number 3, remember that in the past you have allowed people to treat you unfairly, and you're not going to do that anymore. Try those things. Okay. Okay, Karen, I'm going to go ahead and give this to you. I don't usually do more than one question for people, but since it's about your husband, looking at Dwayne's healing, you know, Dwayne has some real physical issues, but he also has a boatload of emotional issues. And it's all about closure. And he really needs to do the work to get closure. And there's some big ones, but because there are some big issues, he ignores the little issues that have been there for a long time. So it's layer upon layer upon layer of stuff. That happens to all of us. He's not unique in this. But he needs to really commit to that process. And if he does, there would be some real improvement. Okay, Barrett, how would I heal from the past in order to move forward? What a great question. It's a couple of things, Barrett. It's about the head and the heart for you, and it's also like you carry a lot of stuff. You don't let go of stuff. You know, there's a party that's still upset about what happened in 2nd grade, right? So letting go of the past, recognizing, you know, you're a very sensitive person. You have a good heart. You also have a very good brain. Sometimes your brain moves too fast. And I think that, like many of us, I've said this to a few people, and I'm going to say it to you as well, Barrett. Look at the stories you're telling yourself. I think sometimes you tell yourself stories about your past that you think are true that really aren't. So look at how you can change your narrative to change how you feel about your past. Okay, and today we are doing readings about healing. So if you have a question, make sure you phrase it in such a way that it encompasses the topic of healing. So Carrie says I could use some help with this. So, okay, so I'm just, because I've known Carrie for a long time, I'm just going to say, Carrie, help on your healing journey. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. There's so much. And when you feel overwhelmed by it, just take it in tiny little pieces and recognize you have the tools and the ability to handle everything you need to handle. Okay, this is a good one. Shelley K. How can I heal my resentment for a family member who hurt me? And the answer is you got to work on that a little bit at a time. It's not easy. You're going to have to train yourself to it. But when we look at this particular family member, you know, I feel like they don't even realize they hurt you, or they don't even really care. They don't even really care. And so we might have to feel sorry for them for being so narrow or so two-dimensional or so silly or so stupid. Excuse me, but there it is. And so just recognizing that they're at where they're at, and the reason they hurt you is because they're at where they're at, and they have to live with themselves every day. So we could maybe feel sorry for them. How about that? Okay, Cindy, what is this newness I'm feeling? So I'm going to go ahead and do that because I think it is about healing. I think what you're feeling, Cindy, is a sense of healing in your life, in your spirit, body, mind, and spirit. And I think you just really need to embrace that energy and move forward with it. Christine Petta, nice to see you. How should I apply a healing work on my divination knowledge? So first of all, recognize how possible it is. Second, when we talk about divination, or specifically working with cards, or specifically working with tarot, there is healing in tarot through the contemplation of each card, through the questions that we ask in divination, and through the magic and manifestation that we can do with the energy of the cards. Now, for you too, I think you can also find information in the cards that can help you help people figure out what they need to do to heal. So what you see in the cards and what you see psychically can help you point people on that path. Okay. Hey, Marcy Rose, nice to see you. Okay. So, Jeanette, what do I need to focus on, reading or tarot cards? I'm not sure I understand the question. I think most people who use tarot cards read them or like to read about them. So maybe rephrase that question for me. Okay, and again, all questions today need to be about the healing process in some way. Shelley Shiner. Some days I feel healed. The next I'm a mess. Am I almost at the point where I'll be healed from my recent loss? So excuse me for using you as an example, Shelley, but that is the way grief is. Shelley has been through a lot of grief. And it's true, day to day, moment to moment, week to week. There are times you feel okay, and then other times you're right back in it. That is normal. And that is part of the healing journey. And at first, it's like minute by minute, hour by hour, and then maybe day by day, week by week. You are getting there. You are always going to miss this person. You are always going to feel, that loss. But to reclaim joy in your life, you are on your way and you're doing the right thing, just trying to put one foot in front of the other and moving forward. You're doing what you got to do. You're doing it right. Okay, Jeanette says medium or doing cards. And I would say, and my cards would agree, why not both? That's not an either or, and probably shouldn't be. Whatever tools you have, you should use them. Okay. Teresa Anuzzi. What would be most helpful for my personal healing and growth at this time? What a good question, Yahoo. I feel like you've had some recent hurtful things. Relationships where people have said mean things to you or treated you badly. And I think it's sorting out those relationships and what you're going to do there, and then sorting out the consequences of that, the healing from that. I think that's really where you need to focus. Okay, yes, Laura, you're psychic. Yes, you are. Okay. Barbara Ann, nice to see you. We are doing readings specifically around healing, so try to phrase your question in that regard. And so you have done. To see Michael's children, is seeing them healing for you or them? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And I almost wonder if the opposite might be true, right? If it might be better not to. Okay. Okay, Nicole, how can I help heal those I work with? By being very, very patient with them. By being patient and coming from a place of love in your heart, even when that's hard. Okay. Okay. All right, so from my perspective, I've gotten through all the questions. If I accidentally missed your question, or if you wanted to ask a question and didn't, go ahead, ask now or forever hold your peace. So tonight is Global Tarot Circle. That would be 7 p.m. Eastern time, like New York time, right? 7 p.m. over on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet. It's a live hour of tarot readings and tarot study. Don't miss it. It's a free tarot meetup. Please join us. I hope to see you there. Steffi has asked a question. Where do I need healing right now? What a great question. I feel like you need to have your whole spirit rejuvenated. You need to heal your inner child. You need to do fun things. You need to do exciting things. You need to feel joy. Whatever makes you feel joyful is what you need to do, and that would bring you healing. Now, I also want to let you know about StarCon. We are right this minute evaluating really great, robust software for online conferencing. StarCon in 2021 will be an online conference only due to COVID. If you've already purchased tickets, I will be reaching out to you individually. If you have not yet gotten your ticket, not being able to get here or not want to travel during COVID will no longer be an excuse. And we will be opening a new payment gateway on the website within the next week or so. We are, again, evaluating the conference software, and it is going to be robust and it is going to be good. It is going to be the next best thing to be in there. We have already set the date for StarCon 2022, which will be hybrid. You can come in person or you can attend from afar. So mark your calendar. This year, January 21st through 23rd. Next year, January 22nd through 24th, StarCon. It is a tarot conference and so much more. I also want to remind you that I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom. You name it, we can do it. And once again, please, 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 please come to Global Tarot Circle tonight. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. Really appreciate it. Oh, and this has been your Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter Recap. If you wish to receive the Tarot Topics Weekly Newsletter in your inbox every Wednesday, please go to my website, tarotbychristiana.com, and sign up. And if you haven't read this week's newsletter, you can find it. Healing is a lifelong journey. You can find it right here on my Facebook business page. Check it out. It's got a lot of good information in it. Thank you all so much.